Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. What I respect lecture in International Organization and Administration course Mohamad Ichsana Nur, as well as friend that I love our group, will be presenting on the topic United Nations Security Council with group members first Riki and then myself Santi Nurmalasari and third Sentia Aprianti. The topic that will be discussed at this meeting are definition of the United Nations Security Council, history of the establishment of the United Nations Security Council, function of the Security Council of the United Nations, member and president, Veto right, United Nations Security Council supporting bodies, United Nations Security Council resolution and sanction, and then UN Security Council reform. For the first percentage, which is myself, here I will explain about definition of the United Nations Security Council. The United Nations UN is an international organization who was born on October 24, 1945. The United Nations can be categorized as an organization with this and most comprehensive international, but also very complex. Say thus because the scope of the United Nations includes all countries in the world, both member and not. Until recently, as a large organization or an international organization for excellence known to the world and society internationally, the UN has influence and a role in the survival of mankind in the world, especially in the field of peace and international security, or at the field of social economies. In addition, the UN Security Council is one of the six main bodies of the United Nations. The UN charter-mandated the Security Council to safeguard international peace and security. Among them are 1. Investigate any situation that there tends for peace. 2. Recommending procedure for peaceful dispute resolution. 3. Ask all UN member states to cut off economic relations as well as the sea, air, force, radio communication, or diplomatic relations. 4. Enforce Security Council decision militarily or by other means. B. History of the founding of the United Nations. The UN is an international organization whose members are almost all countries in the world. This organization was formed so that security and peace between countries can always be well maintained. Before the UN, there was the League of Nations (LBB), which has had to be able to maintain world peace. This organization was founded during World War I in 1919, launching from the Encyclopedia Britannica. LBB was disbanded in 1946 for failing to prevent World War II. The impact of World War II made many countries want peace and security together. The United States, Britain, and the Soviet Union worked together to create a peace organization. The three countries are the founder of the United Nations. The representatives of the three countries were the President of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, and Prime Minister of the Soviet Union Joseph Stalin. C. Function of the United Nations. International organizations like the United Nations are categorized as organizations which has a very complex role because it has the following function. First, to function as a judicial, meaning that the United Nations carries out its function. Judicial through its well-known principal body is International Court of Justice (ICJ), as well as through administration, the ILO tribunal established under Article 37 of the Constitution, ELO enshrined a political body such as a committee regarding the freedom of the association to act at any time on behalf of the governing body of the ELO. Second, functioning as a legislative or said so because the nation carries out a legislative or administrative function through resolution and decision taken in General Assembly session. So too through decision and various kinds regulation made by the Social Economic Council, through various convention, regulation and procedure product in international labor organization and other. Third, function does as executive or political, it is said because through its principal bodies, such as the Assembly General and Security Council. In the sense of war of international peace and security through relate agencies which are not specialist agencies such as International Atomic Energy Agency, and so on through its United Nations Emergency Force has risen, for example, in Korea, Congo, Cyprus, the Middle East, and etc. The function state above show how extensive and complicated problems that support the United Nations as an international organization. Given the various functions and authorities competencies, then the UN cannot be viewed only as a subject of international law or legal institution, but must be seen as a political institution which is very dynamic and influential in the order of life in international relations. The next material will be referred by my friend.
Bismillahirrohmanirrohim. My name is Riki and today I am going to talk about members and president, Veto and United Nations Security Council Support Agency. Okay, first, members and president. This council has 5 permanent members and 10 non-permanent members. The 5 permanent members of the Security Council come from the allied countries that won World War I for policemen plus France, namely People's Republic of China, France, Russia, Great Britain, and United States of America. Each year, the General Assembly elects 5 non-permanent members out of 10 in total for 2 years. The 10 non-permanent seats are distributed regionally as follows: 5 for countries in Africa and Asia, 1 for countries in Eastern Europe, 2 for Latin America and the Caribbean, and 2 for European and other countries. Regional groups are formed based on geographic areas. The Western European group is an exception because the group also includes other countries, namely Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. And the non-permanent members countries are selected by the UN General Assembly for 2 years, where each year 5 new non-permanent member countries replace the 5 non-permanent member countries that have expired membership and come from the same regional area. For 2021, the countries that are members of the UN Security Council are as follows: United States of America, United Kingdom, England, France, Russia, and China. Okay, next material is veto. Each board member has 1 vote, but only 5 members return veto power. The veto is a negative vote that allows the 5 permanent members to prevent the adoption of substantive security council resolution. Russia has exercised its prerogative more frequently than any other permanent members. The most recent example of where this right is exercised is Russia and China passing a draft resolution condemning the crackdown on anti-government protests in Syria and calling on Bashar al-Assad, president of Syria, to step down from office. Recently, the UN Security Council unanimously adopted a resolution condemning North Korea rocket launch and imposing new restrictions on North Korean shipping companies and financial institutions, as well as seeking to block some of the financial transactions frequently used by North Korean officials to acquire with foreign technology. Okay, next material. United Nations Security Council Support Agency. To assist in carrying out its duties, the Security Council has the power to establish a supporting bodies of the Security Council, namely 1. Counterterrorism and Non-Proliferation Committee. The Counterterrorism Committee atau CTC was established under Security Council Resolution 1373, which was adopted unanimously on 28 September 2021. Um, Following the 11 September terrorist attacks in the United States, the task of this committee is to assist UN member states to prevent terrorist acts both within their territory and between regions. The Committee on Non-Proliferation, as is known as the Committee of 1540. Veto rights of the Security Council supporting body is an auxiliary body of the Security Council whose main task is the proliferation of nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons and their main of delivery which are a threat to international peace and security. 2. Military Staff Committee. The Military Staff Committee is the one Security Council support body with a role as defined in the UN Charter is to plan and military operation and assist in the regulation of weapons. The purpose of the Military Staff Committee is intended to provide command staff for a contingent effort set. This contingent is provided by permanent members of the Security Council, People's Republic of China, France, Russia, Britain, and the United States of America, who are prepared for use at the direction of the United Nations. And 3. Sanction Committee. The Sanction Committee was formed under UN Security Council resolution which has sanctioned against its decision. The task of the Sanction Committee is to monitor the implementation of certain UN Security Council resolutions. For example, the Security Council Committee formed under Resolution 1970 on Libya. Um, The Sanction Committee for Libya, according to Resolution 1970, should monitor the implementation of sanctions, report to the Security Council on its work, and examine and take affirmative action on information regarding suspected violation or non-compliance with the steps taken in this resolution. 4. Standing Committee and Ad hoc Committee. Standing Committee and ad hoc committees that are formed as needed on specific issues. For example, the Security Council Committee on New Member Admission and the Ad hoc Working Group and Conflict Prevention and Resolution in Africa. The Security Council Committee on Admission of New Member provides recommendation the General Assembly on the registration of new member of the United Nations. The Ad hoc Working Group on Conflict Prevention and Resolution in Africa provides recommendation on increased cooperation between the Security Council and the Economic and Social Council as well as with UN agency dealing with Africa and monitor the implementation of this recommendation. 5. Operation Fish. UN fish operations have countered the conflict to create conditions of peace. UN peacekeeping force provide security and political development support and have countries to achieve peace in times of difficult transition. Um, there are currently 15 peacekeeping operations, including the United Nations Multidimensional Integrated Stabilization Mission in Mali, MINUSMA, United Nations Mission in the Republic of South Sudan, UNMISS, United Nations Internal Force in Lebanon, UNIFIL, and United Nations Organization Stabilization Mission in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, MONUSCO, and 6. International Court of Justice. The UN Security Council established two international tribunals to try terrorist crimes committed during the war, namely the International Criminal Court of the former Yugoslavia and the International Criminal Court of the Rwanda. The International Criminal Court for the former Yugoslavia is a United Nations court that adjudicates war crimes committed during the conflict in the Balkans in 1990. This court may also handle the prosecution of Rwandan citizens responsible for genocide and other violations of the international law committed in Rwanda and neighboring countries during the same period. And 7. Peace Building Commission. The Peace Building Commission is the only advisory body the UN Security Council. The Commission is an intergovernmental advisory body supporting peacekeeping efforts in developing countries the conflict, and is a key addition to the capacity of the international community and a broad force agenda. The Peace Building Commission plays a role in 1. Brings together all relevant actors, including international donor agencies, international financial institutions, national government, and contribution countries. 2. Military resource, and 3. Advise and provides integrated strategies for post-conflict peace building and recovery, and where necessary, highlights any gaps that threaten to undermine the peace. Burundi, Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, and Central African Republic are countries country and the Peace Building Commission agenda.
Nations Security Council Resolution and Sanction. United Nations Security Council resolutions are the official texts established by the Security Council. All members of the United Nations, in accordance with the Charter of the United Nations, agree to implement and accept the decision of the Security Council. Contained in the United Nations Charter, namely Article 25, which states the members of the United Nations agree to accept or carry out the decision of the Security Council in accordance with the present Charter, where it is stated that all United Nations member states have agreed to accept and implement Security Council decision. And in that article, the Security Council has the power to decide decisions that have binding force, including those decisions are Security Council resolution. This has the consequence that whether consciously or not, whatever the decision is made by the Council in relation to its function in resolving dispute, the part concerned are obliged to carry it out. Next, about sanction against a violation of United Nations Security Council resolution. When a country doesn't comply with a resolution issued by the United Nations Security Council, the Security Council can impose sanctions both non-military and military. This is regulated in Article 41 and 42 of the United Nations Charter. Article 41 of the United Nations Charter determines the Security Council may decide what measures not involving the use of armed force are to be employed to give effect to its decision, and it may call upon all members of the United Nations to apply such measures. This may include complete or partial interruption of economic relations and of rail, sea, air, portal, telegraphic, radio, and other means of communication, and the severance of diplomatic relations. This article regulates acts to violence without using military force. Such actions include the complete or partial terminal of economic relations, include land, sea, air, post, and telegraph, radio, as well as other means of communication, as well as their termination of diplomatic relations. It either based on Article 41 of the United Nations Charter are not successful. Action will be taken based on Article 42 of the United Charter, which states, the Security Council consider that measures provided for in Article 41 would be inadequate or have proved to be inadequate, it may take such action by air, sea, or land force as may be necessary to maintain or restore international peace and security. Such action may include demonstration, blockade, and other operations by air, sea, or land force of members of the United Nations. Article 42 determines that if either based on Article 41 are insufficient, the United Nations Security Council can take action by using the army, sea, and air that may be necessary to maintain international peace and security. It aims to show the power of enforcement of the Security Council to countries involved in international disputes to comply with United Nations Security Council resolution for the sake of maintaining international security and peace. Next, about regarding council reform. Many member states believe that the current 15 seats with 5 permanent members and 10 non-permanent members no longer represent the balance of power in the world. There are 3 central issues regarding council reform, namely membership transparency, including working method, and veto. First, regarding membership, several member states have advocated expanding the Security Council, arguing that the Security Council no longer represents the geopolitical realities of the modern world. One of the changes proposed was to add more permanent members. member states fail to reach a consensus, the new candidates for permanent membership usually mentioned are Brazil, India, Japan, and Germany, which are known as the G4 group. This idea arose considering that the G4 countries are currently ranked among the 10 countries with the highest GDP in the world. However, it has been opposed by the United for Consensus Group, Argentina, Canada, Colombia, Costa Rica, Indonesia, Italy, Malta, Mexico, Pakistan, South Korea, San Marino, Spain, and Turkey, because these countries believe the increase in seats is permanent, will further exacerbate disparities between member countries. Second, on transparency and working method of the Security Council. The Security Council has taken several steps to increase efficiency and transparency in recent years. These reforms don't require amendment to the United Nations Charter and don't cause major controversy such as the issue of membership. The Security Council now meets publicly and consult more frequently with external actors including NGOs. Third, about the Veto. The idea put forward regarding veto reform include limiting the use of vetoes for vital national security issues. The approval of several countries before using veto power and the complete abolition of veto power. Reforming the Security Council will require great effort because it requires change to the Charter and not only acceptance by 2/3 of the Assembly, but also the approval of all 5 permanent members of the Council. After all of informal meetings that have been held, there has been no significant progress on this matter. I think just enough, and thank you.